Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. How is everybody doing? Thanks for joining. What is it right now? Tuesday evening for those from Canada. Wednesday morning for many of us. For some, it's in the middle of the night. Thank you for joining, guys. How is everyone doing? Goodness. Beep boop, beep boop. AJ, 41 months, also first on the list. Very early bird. Or are you still up from last night? Goodness. Thanks for joining. Glad you managed to join the stream again. Hope things are better. And yes, they are. Great to hear it. How are you doing, Scotsman? Yes, indeed. Still in Canada. We are continuing off where we ended last time. I wanted to explore more and I wanted to make our way towards Quebec bit by bit. Starting from the west coast, making our way east. We'll see how it goes. So thanks for joining. Maybe we could use your Canadian knowledge on the way. Have you ever been to the western side of Canada? To these parts where we are? Vancouver. I think currently we are in Prince George. We'll make our way to Edmonton today. Hey King D, how are things, man? Thanks for joining. So friend. Hey bro. I like that seatbelt idea. Hope SES adds it in. That would be perfect for if there's like especially if there's like a seatbelt awareness month, right? Safety first. I am a huge fan of seatbelts as well. Always buckling up even if I'm in the passenger. The seats behind has become a habit. Hey Manuel, catching up on one live session. Glad you made it. Thanks for joining. Do we often catch each other in YouTube? I guess so, huh? 8 hours beauty sleep always. That's healthy living right there. As far as Ontario. Oh. I'm trying to imagine it. Maybe eventually, right? Why not? He never listens to streams. Scotsman? Oh yeah, he's busy training. He's here for like the first and the last parts. But still here, so appreciate the company. Thanks, Scotsman. Hey, Dreadnoughts. You live in Alberta. 2.5 hours east of Edmonton. Nice. We'll get there hopefully maybe next week if we continue on with this pattern. So we'll see. Hey Tom. Oh yes, happy Thanksgiving. What is it? 2 days from now? Goodness. What do you guys have planned for Thanksgiving if any of you are celebrating? I should have made a special Thanksgiving episode in ATS ONOPS. But ironically, we are going to Canada. Even in ATS. Might have missed that boat. I see. I will be live on your Thursday, but it's going to be Thursday evening. That's the usual trucking schedule. But yes, it might be a busy time for you guys. So thanks for the greetings. Hope you enjoy your Thanksgiving. And we'll be looking forward to some stories. So yes guys, here's the plane that we're flying today. The CRJ 900 with Air Canada Express livery. I believe it's Jazz Airlines, the regional partner of Air Canada. So that might be interesting right there. Hey Rob, thanks for following. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy your stay here. We're all about the chill vibes here. Keep it steady. Unfortunately, Thanksgiving is not such a big event here, so we're not really celebrating it. It's a normal day for us. So I'm really looking forward to your stories so I can celebrate it with you guys. Pencil body aircraft, that's very true. There's actually a longer pencil than this. This is the CRJ 900. There's actually the CRJ 1000 now. The longest pencil of them all. Let's have a look. Although I haven't flown it. It should be the same. All of these CRJs should be the same in terms of the avionics, the systems. It's just the feel of it. So some of them will be more sensitive, some of them will be a bit more clunky, longer takeoff roll, things like that. So this is the longest pencil we have, the CRJ 1000. Let's see if we can notice a difference. Yeah, it does seem longer, right? This is the longest pencil of them all, and I don't think it's even allowed in the US. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the longest that's allowed is the CRJ 900, because from what I know, there are regional limits. Like there is a classification on how you can call yourself a regional aircraft, and I think the CRJ 1000 is too long or too big for that already, at least in the US. So you mostly see this in Canada. Europe rather. Europe. You have more of these. So that's why we are going with the CRJ 900 here in North America, because it's more common there. Full price for the Air Race DLC. 500? Really? Yeah, I doubt that's going to be the real price. The real price is that $59.99 most probably. Yes. If you're into racing with planes, that might be an interesting one. You also get lots of planes that you can use outside the races, from what I've heard. I don't have it personally though. I'm not the biggest fan of racing, either on air or on land. I'm just not built for it. I'm too slow for it. So I like to take it slow, chill. So the adrenaline vibes do not sit well with me. I cannot keep up. Oh, look at this, guys. We're at 481 hours, getting to 500. That's the next milestone. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start up in Charlie Yankee X-Ray Sierra, if I remember. Yes, that's Prince George over here. What time do you guys want? You guys want an evening flight? Let's go for live time, and if we arrive there in the evening, then we arrive there in the evening. I'm not sure if you're into that. Let's go and start in one of the gates. All of these are GA medium things. Yikes. But I guess we can go there. Well, I guess it would be safest to go with the GA large then, if ever. That one. Okay, it's a bit farther because I think we'll be using this runway for takeoff, runway 15, based on the winds, but we'll see. Hey, LL. No, not a racing fan, unfortunately. Yeah, I leave that to the racing guys. I'll settle with the low and slow lanes. Get classified into commercial flight. Could be. I'm not really familiar with the distinction either. What is called a regional and what is not regional. But all of them seem commercial to me. Gets dark really fast there. Because of, look at this one. Actually, it might be night already, huh? It might be night already. So we've put this one here. That's 4 p.m. But look at how dark it is. It's sunset already. So it's going to be night ops. I'm not sure I like night ops. It'll be realistic, but it won't be very scenic. It's the same problem we have in truck sim, right? Might be chill, but you won't see stuff, and I want to see stuff. So I think we'll adjust that a bit. Maybe make it around 1 p.m. Something like that. Yeah? Pretty cloudy as well, based on this Meteo Blue forecast model. We'll see if it's really accurate. We'll do all players, AI, preset, live weather, not live time. Okay, going with that. Yeah. I think if we start here, by the time we arrive in Edmonton, we'll start seeing some hints of sunset vibes already, just like last time. So this might actually be interesting. 4:12 p.m. indeed. You got it, Tom. Right, because it's fall. When is the start of winter? It's at mid-December somewhere. By the way, I have Volanta enabled. We'll get into that more in a bit, but first, let's go for some sim briefing action. So let me put this in the center right here. Let's go for sim brief. December 21st. Wow, that's late. I was thinking it was going to be a bit earlier than that. Cool. How long's the flight again? That's a good question. Let's see. Goodness, why is sim brief super slow? Oh, looks like a busy day, huh? The images won't even load. Hello? Okay, there it is. It's loading. So let's see how long it will take. We're departing from Prince George, which is, if this guy will let me type, Charlie Yankee X-Ray Sierra, to Edmonton, which is Charlie Yankee Echo Golf. Alright, there's an alternate right there. Yankee Charlie, I'm not sure where that is. So let's pick the CRJ 900 airframe, and you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, right? Should be 1-to-1. Yes, okay. We'll be choosing the climb profile that's more economical, 250 to 9074. You guys remember this from last week? 250 knots below 10,000, 290 knots above 10,000 feet. And then when they cross, that intersection arrives, that 290 knots and you're at Mach 0.74 speed, you switch to Mach and you climb at Mach 0.74. So that's the climb profile we'll be using. That's the typical one. And descent profile is just exactly the same, just the opposite way around. 0.74, 290, 250. Looking good. Departure runway 15. Okay, so it did detect the weather here in Prince George is, if you look here, 180 at 7 knots. That's why it chose runway 15. In terms of clouds, clear. It says clear here. Not sure if that's accurate. Anyway, we'll see. We'll compare it with the weather in the sim. Now, one thing I wanted to check. Esky 2. Okay. I want more waypoints. Just makes it more exciting. Yeah, let's go with this one. Esky 2. Yeah, let's go with that. Looks more interesting. So it's going to be 337 nautical miles. Now, how long will that take with this plane? We will see. First, let's go for auto cargo, auto passengers. Let's leave it. It does say 1 hour 30. So that might be it. 1 hour 30 on the air. So it might take longer. Maybe add a month more. Birthday's next month. Nice. Looking forward to it, Tom. Are you eyeing any birthday gift? Or mostly around Christmas. I see. So late December. Huh? I always forget that. Planned optimum flight level. That's good. Our cruise altitude for today will be flight level 350. So this is our OFP. But I like seeing it from the PDF view. It looks more professional this way. I can read it better this way. I'm more familiar with the layout when it comes to this. So let's see. We have a takeoff weight of 76, almost 77,000 feet. Maximum is 84,500. That looks good. We are well within the range. Flight level 350, as we've seen. In terms of fuel, the trip itself would take 3,300. We need extra fuel for a continuous 15 minutes. And if we're going to our alternate, we need 2,000. We have a final reserve as well. I'm not sure if this is like 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes of flight time. So that's the final reserve. We should never touch that. I think at the point when you touch that final reserve, you have to call a mayday to ATC. I think something along those lines, if I remember correctly. So that's really just the last resort fuel, from what I understand. And all in all, that will be 8883 block fuel. Okay. Looks good. That's our route right there. Runway 15 for departure, runway 02 at the arrival airport at Edmonton. We'll see more how that route looks like. These are the times, so the block time is 1 hour 19 minutes. Is that for everything? What is the block time? I think that is... yeah, might be. Okay, cool. Alright, that looks good right there. Let's move this to the left. And I did want to play around with Volanta a bit. Not you, Volanta. Here. Yeah, I did see that it was 1 hour 30 in the beginning, but in the OFP itself, maybe that's where it's more accurate. So it looks like 1 hour 19 is everything. Or 1 hour 30 with the buffer. Yeah, it looks like it's everything already. So it should be a pretty short one. So that's us, Prince George. And we can add a flight plan from SimBrief. There we go. There we go. That's the flight plan. The cool thing here is we can actually take some screenshots along the way. Like, for example, you see this camera here. Someone took this. C172 driver. Oh, nice. What sim is this? Looks like a... probably X-plane because it's a 737. A 737 what? 700 by the looks of that tail, that livery. It's definitely not the 800, it's shorter. And it has that fin, that very indicative signature fin from the 737. Long nose. So it looks like a 737-700. That's pretty nice, right? Flying with a community like that. And you get to see screenshots and everything. And when we're ready to get back into VATSIM again, we can use this as well for the map to know where VATSIM is available. Okay, looks good. I'll just keep this on the side here just so it will keep tracking our flight, and we'll see how we do at the end. All the way to the east, bit by bit, hopefully, bit by bit. Yes, we'll see how it goes. And then of course we also have the checklist that I'll be using. This is available. I always repeat this every stream. Sorry for those who are always here, but just for everybody's visibility, if you type !mods or go to the mods list, the link is in the video description. If you're watching this in YouTube, you'll get to this list. Look for the FS 2020 tab. Look for the CRJ 550 700 item. The row numbers shifts quite a bit depending on the updates. And you'll see here a link to the Streamline checklist. That links to this one right here. So you can use this, you can save it on as your own, as a local file, print it out, depending on your preference. I like to put this in my other monitor, and this will be my checklist. Because by default, it will not have, the plane does not have a checklist of its own, from what I know. Whoa. Oh, and yes, by the way, track IR is a bit messed up with Sim Update 7. So I have to get a bit used to it. Obviously not today. That was the cockpit refreshing, loading in. It looks like we have snow. Interesting. We have haze as well. That's one of the new things with Sim Update 7. We have haze. Cool stuff. We have an EasyJet here. Does EasyJet ever get to these parts? Or is this just a random assignment of AI? I do have simple traffic, so at least we have realistic liveries. That's much better than the generic liveries that we're getting. Goodness, it's snowy all over. Hello, Canada. You guys say it isn't winter yet? Well, over here in these parts, it does seem like it, right? Also, with Sim Update 7, guys, we have something new. We have something cool when it works. If it works, that's another question altogether. But the idea is great, very convenient. Look at this, if you haven't seen it yet. If you go to the weather panel, if you're on live weather, you can click this meter thing now. And we can actually, let's put this here so you guys can see it. You can select an airport based on the distance. So we're at Prince George, so that's first on the list. You can actually see the meter in here. Remember the 1807 knots we saw from SimBrief? So it's the same here. What's not the same though is you see, it says it should be clear. So there should be no clouds, but I do see some clouds up ahead, so it doesn't really feel that accurate. Temperature, -1. Dew point, -5. Hello, Canada. Altimeter is 29990. Oh, we have what is this? Super cooled liquefied particles. From what I've learned recently from Fabio, this is a very dangerous thing at flight level 160, from what I understand here. I think this is the one, if you've seen those videos, the water bottle, that when you cool it, it remains liquid, but when you tap it, it suddenly becomes solid. Like all of a sudden, in a matter of seconds, everything solidifies, that kind of thing. So this SLP it's saying there's that kind of scenario at flight level 160, 16,000 feet. So it could be that one moment there is nothing, and then the next snap of a finger you see icing all over your wings, and that can be very dangerous. So we'll have to be wary of that. Yes, we'll see. Pitot heat. Yeah, and I'm not sure if the anti-ice can even cope up with that fast of icing, because there is icing that accumulates very slowly, right? And that one our anti-ice should be able to handle, but that kind of snap icing, I'm not sure if the plane could handle that. So we have to be very wary, very careful. Yes, anti-icing is on. Icing is enabled here in this flight, so we should be very careful with that. Right? Anyway, let's get things started. What else am I missing? Oh yes, I'm missing pilot to ATC. We want some ATC here. Let's see. And I will show it to you every step of the way what I do. So in case you want to do the same, you can do so. So what I do, I'm loading pilot to ATC in the background. In the meantime, what I can do is go to the routing and impacts page, and copy this route right here. I'll be using that as input to pilot to ATC. Also, while we're waiting for pilot to ATC to load, you can see here, weight change up, down. So if you increase your weight by 1, maybe that's 1,000 pounds, then you'll have, it'll be consuming more fuel. Makes sense, right? If you lessen your weight, you consume less fuel. That's positive, minus. And if you go up 1,000 feet, you'll consume more. If you go down 1,000 feet, you'll consume more. So it's actually looked for the optimal flight level given the weather and everything. SimBrief is such a cool tool. And it gives you all the impacts depending on how you change your weight, your flight level, your speed, right? Very, very interesting stuff. Okay, so anyway, that's loaded up. Pilot to ATC is this one. Let's see. Now, first thing I do, because I'm using Amazon Poly Voices, it doesn't work every time. It's great when it works, but have to try it a couple of times.
Poly, US English.
Works.
Matthew,
Okay, good.
Standard. I will be your head as voice for the flight.
Smash into the ground, hit the water. The crashing. Yes, the crash damage. You can turn that off as well. Mine is on as well. Yes, we want to keep it as realistic as possible. So what they do is go to FP import, go to SimBrief here, flight plan DB, just paste the route, and now we have to change it a bit. Remove the slash. It doesn't recognize the slash, the runways. So that will be what's remaining. Import that one. AI controls the habit of landing on anything that's not the runway for some reason. Yeah, the AI control is a bit wonky. Cruise altitude, we did mention it's 350 in the OFP, so let's copy that. Let's also bring back the OFP right here and go to ATC flight plan. Here we'll see the cruise speed, 432 knots. That's where I get it from, and I just plug that into here. Not sure how big of a difference it makes in terms of the calculations from pilot to ATC, but I'm just copying it as close as possible. So it does say an estimated time en route is 51 minutes based on our speed. Looks good. Now we did want something here. Pilot to ATC will sometimes assign different runways, different stars, different approaches. That's depending on your config right here. If you go to config button and then ATC settings, I think. No? 1 second. Flight plan. So I think by default these are ticked. ATC assigns SID, stars, approaches. I untick them all. That means everything is manual. Everything I have to set on my own. That's why you see all of these are blank. Because normally, pilot to ATC would assign something here automatically. But yeah, let's keep it manual. So runway 02, SK2 arrival. That's the one how it looks. That's the one that's in sim brief as well. So let's throw that in. And then we'll use the ILS 02 approach. Runway 02, there you go. And maybe let's get vectors. Why not? Let's get vectors that way. So it's going to be a bit more interesting from ATC point of view. More guidance necessary. Sure thing, Jay. Catch you soon. Okay, so let's validate that. Let's file it. Oh, we're not yet connected. Dang it. I have to turn on FSU IPC. Okay. That should work. Now we try to connect. There we go. So we were Jazz 8345 before. Let's go for 8352. I don't know, I'm just thinking of a number. I don't think Jazz really goes through this route, but it's close enough. Now, one thing you have to take note of, you see there I tried to connect and only one message appeared. That means it didn't work. When you connect to pilot to ATC, many things should happen. You should get, I think, 3 messages mainly. Simulator connected, recognition engine installed, and grammars loaded. Those are the 3 messages we're looking for. If that's not there, something is missing. It won't work exactly as you would hope for. Okay, so that works right now. Alright, so now we can validate and we can file it. Good. Okay, that's good. Alright, so let me move this here. Maybe I'll move this here. Yeah, we'll see how that looks. Okay, now we're finally ready to get the plane set up. Now, if you're not up to date with the Sim Update 7 stuff, Sim Update 7 went live last week after our stream. So this is the first stream where we have it. It kind of wrecked Track IR. Yes, exactly. Now it doesn't work anymore. Dang it, really? Come on, come on. Oh, yes, I have to assign something. So look at this one. Track IR is off, right? I turn it on. Now it's working, right? Now it's working. But if I pause it, the pause doesn't work anymore. If I pause it, like if I want to go and look at that and pause it, it resets to the center now. And then when I unpause it, it doesn't work anymore. And you have to open it again. This is a bug for sure. And last time I checked in the Flight Simulator forums, it had over 400 votes already. People have been clamoring for a hotfix for this. Unfortunately, we have not heard anything from Asobo just yet, so I'm not sure if they will. So in the meantime, we have to make do. as always. And the way we do that is we go to controls options, we go to we assign a key basically. Hey, so friend, thanks for 6 months, man. Appreciate it. How are you doing? By the way, I got a notification. Petit Piet Sim, thank you for being a patron. I just got that like 16 minutes ago. I just saw it now. Appreciate it if you're here in the stream. So if we go and look for head tracking, you'll see there's a toggle head tracking button. What I do is I assign that to the button that I use for the centering. That is not selected. Cancel. It's not the one. Here. So what I do is I assign whatever button it is with the that you use in Track IR to center the view. That's what I assign it to as well. So the same button for centering is the same button I assign here for turning on head tracking. So now if I pause, then it disappears. Unpause, it doesn't go back, but at least now I can turn on using that new assignment. Now it's on again. So it's not that bad. Well, it is, but at least we can work around it. Okay? Anyway, so let's go do that for now. Right, let's load SimBrief here. Navigraph, SimBrief flight. Let's have a look at the airport. Open the charts. Let's go and put in the airport info. That's where we are. Those are the frequency numbers that we have to take note of. And let's see. Runway 15 is most likely going to be our departure runway, but we'll hear that when we tune into ATIS. And it will most likely taxi through here. Runway 01. I don't think that is enabled most of the time. Runway 01 is active. If you look at all these info here, goodness. Lit as a taxiway. Restricted to 12,500 pounds for landing and takeoff day only. So really for small aircrafts only. Runway 01. Okay, so we'll use that probably for taxi. Either that or we just back taxi here. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Okay. Looks good. Let's start up the plane. I'm going to go through my flow here. Referencing the checklist as well. Time flies indeed, so friend. Time flies indeed. Alright, cold and dark. We have it set. Let's go and turn on our GPU. Let's open the doors so that the passengers and everything can get inside. Let's double check outside. That looks good. Let's go ahead and load up the luggage. The catering. There we go. Still going underneath the plane. Going through the wing. Yeah, some clipping issues there. Running over someone. Okay, fine. It looks like we have a Cessna 172 behind us. Might be challenging on the pushback there. Goodness. GPU graphics card. Close enough, man. Close enough. Okay. Looks good. Alright, now that the GPU is connected, we can go ahead and look up. We can turn on the batteries. We see that the AC is available because of that GPU. The ground power unit, right? Turning on the nav lights here. Because whenever we have AC power on, I turn on the nav lights to indicate that we have power on the plane. I'm not sure if that's really how it works in the CRJ, but like in the 737, that's how it is. So I'm just carrying it over. Right, you can hear the avionics fans spooling. And you can see here, yes, the plane is enabled. It's on. Now, there are more things that we have to set up. Hydraulics 3A is this one. Let's go ahead and get some interior lights here. IRS turned out to nav, so the IRS starts tuning. I mentioned in the previous stream what the IRS is all about. If you guys want more explanation on that, let me know so I can repeat it. If not, then you can reference that previous stream about it. Okay, let's get some lighting first. Looking good there. Good. Alright. Looks good. Did I miss anything? No, I think we're okay. Time to program the FMS. Let me put my OFP here on the other page. Let's double check. Okay, nav database. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, it's November 23. Actually, it's 24 on my end, but fine. In Canada, it still is the 23rd, that's true. X-ray Sierra will be where we're coming from. Getting the GPS coordinates. Pasting that here for the IRS alignment. Charlie Yankee X-ray Sierra to Charlie Yankee Echo Golf. Looking good. Departure runway 15 for now. We'll change that if needed, depending on what the ATIS tells us later. But for now, that's the most sensible one. So from runway 15, we go direct to the VOR, the Prince George VOR Yankee X-ray Sierra. We see that appearing there as well on the what do they call this? It's the ND. Direct wallop. Each plane has its own set of definitions for the different panels, but it's mainly the terminologies. Parque. Direct S key. I love plugging this in. This adds so much to the immersion for me when I'm able to plug in the entire flight plan like this. Arrival would be on ILS-02, vectors, yes, and we'll be joining the SK2 arrival. Okay, that looks good. Let's double check the legs page. Prince George, Wallop, Parque, SK, and then we should be joining the arrival. So let's go and overwrite SK with this one. There you go. Go direct to the arrival afterwards. And then we get Upkit VigV Rexum Hampo. Okay, let's double check that. Let us double check that. If you go and look at Navigraph here, SK2 arrival. Okay, SK. You see this line here, what does it say? We should be at or below. How I imagine this is the numbers are where the position of the plane should be. So the line is above, we should not be above, so we should be below, at or below flight level 190. And is that accurate with what's plugged in here? Yeah, you can see flight level 190 below. Now it's instead of A, which is above. So we should be below, at or below flight level 190 by SK. And then at Upkit, we should be exactly at 8,000 feet. I didn't see that plugged in here though. Did I? Yeah, I did not. So let's plug that in manually. This is why we verify. Right, 8,000. Good. At Upkit. And then VigV. And then Rexom. And then we have, oh, what is this? Vector Hampo. Oh, that's the approach already. Okay. So Rexom is the end, and then we have vectors. Right? Rexom and then vectors. That's indicated by those arrows right there. That's correct below. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. And then ILS-02. Go and look for the charts. Final approach. Pin that as well. So here's the chart for ILS-02. We'll brief that better later, but for now we're verifying how it looks. Indeed, Hampo is the intermediate fix. Right, that's the start of the final approach course there. And that is where we will be led to because it's a vectors to final. So we'll be vectored by ATC, will be guided by ATC towards this starting point of the approach, Hampo. That's why in the FMS we see vectors and then Hampo. Somehow in between there, ATC will guide us so that we get to that point, Hampo. And at Hampo we should be 5,000 at or above 5,000. Is it accurate, Hampo? Indeed, recommended 5,000. Okay, looks good. And then from there, we should get the glide slope. Okay. 8.2 nautical miles to missed approach point. Okay. I see, okay. And then we intercept the glide slope at 5,000 feet. Indicated by those, that icon right there. That like thick arrow. I'm not sure how you call it. Looks good. Missed approach, let's discuss that later. For now, we're just verifying that what the legs page is showing is accurate. Right, Hampo ZZD is Kalmar. NDB, that's this one, and then runway 02. Exactly those 3 waypoints is what we see here in as well. Okay, looks good. So the flight plan looks good. Let's go to the performance in it. I'll be cruising at flight level 350 today. And for the weights here, instead of plugging them in manually, we can make use of the EFB here. And I'm going to reference the sim brief page. Let's go show that again. Sim brief, if you go to, I think even summary here is okay. You can just plug this in. Zero fuel weight 68545, and then the fuel was 8883. Let's round that up to 9,000 just so we have a bit of buffer, right? So the zero fuel weight here is 68545. Don't forget to press enter so that updates. And then the fuel will adjust that to 9,000 pounds. Yes, that looks good. Now we are setting the payload in the simulator. You'll feel the plane heavying like there. But that's not enough. Do it twice. One more time so that the center of gravity adjusts accordingly. You can actually click it multiple times just to be on the safe side until it doesn't change anymore. That looks good. This is the magic button. Copy perf init data to FMS. So whatever the weights are here, it's going to copy that into here. That looks good. And let's also set the V speeds in here so that the V speeds will be present over there on the PFD. Right there. Right? V1, VR, V2, VT. Normally adjust them through here manually, but you can automate that using the AFB. Very, very convenient. Hey, Katie. Thanks for dropping by. No problemo. Take it from the beginning, Dwarfy. Rewind. How are you, man? Welcome back. Thanks for joining. Yes, we'll catch each other up when we get on the air, probably. But yes, let me know if you have questions. I'll do my best to answer them, if I can. VNAV setup, let's double check. Yes, 290, Mach 0.74. That's the climb speed. Remember the 250, 290.74. This is where it comes in, right? 250 below 10,000 feet. 290 knots above 10,000. And then when they intersect with the Mach speed arrives, Mach 0.74, we switch to Mach speed. Transition altitude is 18,000 feet. Indeed. We'll be cruising at Mach 0.74 at flight level 350. That looks good. And then on our descent, we'll be targeting Mach 0.74, and then when it crosses over to 290 knots, we'll switch to 290 knots, and then below 10,000 will be at 250 knots. Transition flight level is flight level 180, and the VPA, what does the VPA stand for again? Vertical path angle, 3 degrees, a 3-degree descent. The angle of the descent is 3 degrees. Okay, looks good to me. Perf, good. Flex temp, I'm not familiar what flex temps we can adjust here, so we'll not apply any. That's just to save the engine from wear and tear, so it doesn't go always full power if it doesn't need to. But in our case, it's safer if we just apply full power during takeoff. So let's leave it that way. Okay. That looks good. Legs page on the co-pilot. Let's go ahead, go back here. Now we go through the flow of all the things we have to do. The hydraulics we put on auto. For the others here, the cabin pressure, we have to adjust the landing elevation. So let's go back and adjust it. You can see the number changing, right? As I move the cabin pressure here. I'm basically matching it with the airport elevation here. Just in case we need to go around, go back to the airport, I want to adjust that the landing elevation is same with this departing airport. 2266, let's round that up to 2280 is the closest thing I would say. Okay, so 2280. Come on, You can do it. Almost there. 2280. There we go. Looks good. What else am I missing? So flowing through here, air conditioning not yet. We'll turn that on when the APU is on because the GPU cannot provide air conditioning. Anyway, I don't think we need air conditioning with this cold. Maybe we need heating, huh? And I believe the windshield heat goes on now. Yes, okay, windshield heat goes to low. And then no smoking signs to on, seatbelt signs to on, arming the emergency lights, looking good there. Okay, so the overhead panel is good for now. Let's go back here to the center pedestal, turn on stab trim, Mac trim, and iris is aligned. Yes, indicated by the PFD having the what do you call that? Artificial horizon, the attitude. I don't know how you call it. I am very bad with terminologies, but that once the iris is aligned, we can engage the yaw damper as well. Looks good. All right, looking good. Now we should have boarded all the people already. You tune landing elevation to departure airport in case of emergency. Exactly. Yes, exactly, so friend. That's how I do it as well. Right before I start my descent, I tune it to the airport elevation on the arrival airport. Agree. Okay, looks good. So going back here, we can close the doors. And then the cabin crew should be signaling.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the captain and crew, welcome aboard this flight. We hope you enjoy flying with us. Before takeoff, we would like to encourage all passengers to watch our cabin crew display the safety features of the aircraft.
So now what we can do is start the APU. And the APU is this third engine. Some people are not familiar with this. You see two engines in display, right? But there are actually three engines in this plane and in many airliners because there is one smaller engine here. I'm not sure where, but the exhaust is here, right? This one. Stay away from there. And this flap here should open when we turn on the APU. So let's position ourselves there. Start the APU by opening the flap here and starting it. Double check here on the panel, APU, door open indeed, and it's starting. RPM is increasing, engine exhaust gas temperature is increasing as well. That's the one that's opening. We can hear it. I'm actually expecting the, what do you call it, the heat wave. You know, when the air kind of like fizzles near the exhaust. I'm expecting that here. I don't really see it. I wonder, will this ever close when the APU is available? Okay, we have the APU available. I think this will just be open, maybe. Because it does say door open. That's probably the door it's referring to. Okay, door is open. We can verify that that's working. Hello, thank you. If we go to electricity page, we'll see that the APU generator, you see the green lines there, you see the stats on the electricity. Don't ask me about the details, but yes, this is at least showing that the APU is generating power and is supplying the buses. Right, so it's now powering up the plane. Very nice. I should have done this a while ago, because a while ago it would have been the GPU that was doing this. So you can compare the before and after. Maybe next time I'll do that. Okay, let's go back to the stats page here. Good. Okay, that looks good. So now what we can do is turn on air conditioning. And you'll hear it start very, very soon. There it is. Very slowly. Very quiet. There it is. Nice. Okay. What else? I believe... What else? Probe heat, maybe? Let's double check. No, later. Probe heat will turn on later. Okay, air conditioning for now. And now we can actually, since the APU is now powering the plane, we don't need the GPU anymore. So let's remove the ground power unit. There we go. And we still have power in the plane, so that's a good sign that we've done things correctly. And let's remove the wheel chocks. Looking good there. Let's also make the tug, signal the tug for him to come in. We're almost ready. I have this plug-in here. It's in the mods list as well if you want to use it. It's in my second monitor, so I can easily access the tug and other nifty features, like the one a while ago with the luggage, with the catering. I think it's called Pushback Helper, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Pushback Helper. Very nice. Okay, looks good. Now we are going to listen to the ATIS. Let's see. So we go to radio here. What was the frequency? Do you guys remember? ATIS, right? 128.725. Okay, let's put that in. 128.725, COM1.
Prince George Information Oscar. Winds are 162 at 7 knots. Visibility 9 miles. Skies clear. Temperature -1. Dew point -5. Current altimeter is 299.0. Arriving and departing runway 15.
Okay, looks
Prince
good. We have
George
Oscar.
Information Oscar. Winds are 162 at 7 knots. Visibility 9 miles. Skies
Let's go
clear.
and tune in to
Temperature
ground.
-1.
We don't have
Dew point
clearance delivery
-5.
here, so ground is where we'll be
Current
getting our
altimeter
clearance
is
from.
299.0. Arriving and departing runway
1219er.
15. Prince
Good.
George Information Oscar. Winds are 162 at 7 knots.
Sometimes that
Visibility
doesn't
9 miles.
bite
Skies
properly.
clear. Temperature -1.
There we go. Let's do that again. There you go. Now we're in ground frequency. Okay. So let's go and get our clearance. Going to be using Pilot ATC here in the background. We'll be requesting for our clearance. Actually, one second. Let me change our co-pilot. I think I want a change in the voice. So currently our co-pilot is always Joanna. I think we'll use maybe Matthew. Just for a switch, and let's use Joanna for the clearance delivery. Something like that. Okay, let's try that. So request for clearance. Matthew, help us out.
Jazz 8352 ready to copy IFR clearance.
Jazz 8352 is cleared to Charlie Yankee Echo Golf as filed. Expect departure runway 15. Climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 3220.
Jazz 8352 is cleared to Charlie Yankee Echo Golf as filed. Climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Squawk 3220.
It's good.
Jazz 8352 read back correct. Altimeter 29990. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
Good.
Altimeter 29990. Jazz 8352.
Believe APU door will close after shutdown. That's what I thought too, but it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, interesting. But I guess it's a small thing. Shouldn't matter that much. On the air, do you guys think it would do the same? Interesting, huh? Okay, looks good. So let's plug those in. We've gotten our clearance, we've gotten the ATIS, so all that's left to do is plug those in. So first things first, let's go sequentially so I don't confuse myself. Let's get the let's plug in the altimeter here, 29990. 29990, that's the one. So do that 3 times, one on the left side, center, and on the right. Right, 29990. And on here, 29990. Looks good. Okay, good. Next, we are plugging in runway 15. Expect runway 15. Okay, so we've been told to expect runway 15, so we can align our heading bug to the runway 15 heading. Runway 153, heading 153. So let's put that in here. 153 on the heading. Looking good. And then 6,000 feet is what we've been cleared to by ATC. Let's put in 6,000. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. 6,000. And then 2 minutes after, we'll be given higher clearance, but we don't really need to... you have to read that back. Otherwise, they will ask you to read back to expect higher clearance 2 minutes after. So you have to read that back, but you don't have to plug it in anywhere. Okay, and squawk 3220. Let's do that right here. I like changing my squawk in here because this is the only place Pilot to ATC recognizes the squawk change. It doesn't recognize the squawk change for some reason when you change it on the FMS. Like there, directly. So I change it here. 3220. Looks good. Let's turn that on now, so I don't forget later. Okay. Has a cooldown period to be closed. So once you get your engines running and shut the APU down, that door will close. It sucks air to APU engine through door. That makes a lot of sense. That's why it needs to be open, right? Yeah. So later, as we start the engines, close the APU, we'll see the door closed here too. And when that does, let's double check that the door behind is indeed closed. That's a good check. Thanks. Okay. Looks good right there. What am I missing? What else am I missing? I'm referring to my checklist here. Heading, altitude looks good. What we're just missing is turning on our beacons to signal that everyone outside, if there's any person still outside, to keep distance because the plane is about to move. The plane is about to start its engines. So anyone here who's still roaming around, that guy, all of them will get notified that the plane is about to start moving. That's why beacons are important. Safety first. Okay, looks good. So let's go and request for pushback. Actually, I'm not sure if we need to. Might be pushback at our own discretion here in Canada, but just to be on the safe side. When in doubt, ask. Hey Sophia, thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream.
Jazz 8352 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved. There we go.
Pushback and engine start approved, Jazz 8352.
And we should be pushing back facing to our left. Yes? So we should be pushing back to our right. Should be facing that way. If you get what I mean. Okay, looks good. Let's go and release the parking brake here. Let me remove that. Parking brake is released. Let's go and push back. Looking good there. Turn on our fuel pumps. Start engine 2. You'll hear the AC turning off on its own. We see N2 climbing. When N2 is at 20%, we'll go ahead and introduce fuel to engine number 2. That's looking good right there. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. Okay. 20% N2. There we go. Introduce fuel by putting the throttle to idle. We see N2 climbing. Oil temperature, oil pressure. Here the engine's pulling up. Where's the taxiway? Start pushing back to our right here. Let's go and explore outside as well. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. That's good enough.
Features of the aircraft in case of an emergency. During an emergency, please remain in your seats with your seatbelts fastened and your seats in the upright position. In case of a drop in cabin pressure, breathing
Engine 2 looks
masks will
good.
drop from the
We have
ceiling and
60.7. Let's double check
your
the
seat.
electricity
If
page.
there is smoke in the cabin during the evacuation
Electricity
of the aircraft,
page.
the walkway emergency lights will display to the exit.
This is
which are
nice. You can see
located
now.
here and here.
Right? Because we have engine 2 on. We have generator 2 on. So generator 2 is providing power to bus 2, but still APU is being used for bus 1 because the first engine is still not open, still not on. It's very nice. Okay, so that means we have to start engine 1 now. Start it up. Air conditioning turns off again on its own. We see N2 climbing. I do notice that the climb is faster. I'm not sure if I'm just imagining it on the second engine when you do that. Might be normal. Okay, almost 20%. Looking good. This time let's go outside and have a look at that engine up close as it spools up. Maybe don't stay here in real life, right? Just imagine we have huge zoom. This is what I was expecting, this one. That heat haze, right? I think we call it heat haze. I was expecting that here, but I don't think it's present for the APU. Beautiful looking pencil plane. Goodness. Okay, looks good. There you go. You see the difference in the electrical power now? Both generators are producing power and supplying each of their individual buses, their respective buses. The APU is no longer needed. So what we can do is go back to the stat page here. You can see that's open. What we can do now is turn it off, close the door when ready. So now you'll see the RPM is lowering. You'll see the door is closed, and over here, indeed, the door is now closed. Maybe don't stay here in real life. But yeah, the door is closed now there. The one with the red rectangle, red square. Welcome back, Jay. Okay, looking good. Okay, let's turn on nose wheel steering. What am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing some stuff. So let's double check with the checklist. That's what it's for. Okay. Anti-ice. Now it's a pretty clear day, even though it's pretty cold. We don't have much moisture once we take off, so we don't need anti-ice yet, I don't think. But we do need to turn on our probe heats here. Okay, nose wheel steering is armed. Let's go and turn on our taxi lights to signal that the plane is about to start moving. Alright. Let's double check that taxi lights are indeed on. Those are the ones. Man, what a beautiful plane. What a beautiful sim, isn't it? Let's take a photo there. That looks lovely. Goodness. Hey, Mechanical. How's it going, man? Yes, happy to be flying an airliner again, doing IFR flights. The goal is to eventually get back to VATSIM. I am getting inspired again by Fabio with all his VATSIM flights, so hopefully soon we'll get into VATSIM. When I muster up enough courage, I want to make it a normal thing that I am flying in VATSIM, but not quite there yet. Hopefully soon. Okay, good. Let's go and set flaps to take off. That's flaps 8. So over here, set the flaps to 1 and 8. You'll see that indicating right there. Flaps 1, flaps 8. As easy as that. And then we'll see over here, indeed the slats are extended, the hero ones in front, and the flaps are indeed extended as well. Same goes for the other side, supposedly. Yes, looking good right there. Nice. Okay, so that's one more off the list. We also want to be accurate here. The stab trim should be for takeoff at 7.0. And we have to double check our flight controls. So let's turn on the flight controls here, there, and let's double check our controls left. Is there a way I can do that? Left, right, push, back. So everything is registering in the flight controls page as well. And the rudders left, right are also reflecting. Brakes, toe brakes not really reflecting here, but we'll see that later. And the important thing is the stab trim, the 7.0, that's about this one. So trim it down to 7.0 for takeoff as calculated by the EFB. Oh, I closed it already. Okay, good. So with that, we can turn off, we can go back to the stat page. We should get a takeoff thing. Parking brake is on. Okay, so we should get a takeoff config okay now. There we go. That's nice. Let's go and request for taxi, and let's go and check out what kind of taxi will be given instructions? Will it be via Charlie and runway 01 towards runway 15, or Delta then backtrack to runway 15? We'll hear what the ATC will give us. Okay, let's go and request taxi here.
Jazz 8352 ready to taxi.
AIG model matching.
Jazz 8352
Yeah.
taxi to runway 15, hold short runway 15.
Not very descriptive. We're on our
Taxi
own.
to runway 15, hold short runway 15, Jazz 8352.
Let's use Charlie. Charlie in the runway 01. I heard of great things about AIG, yes, but yes, I haven't had time to check it out yet, unfortunately. It's a bit too time consuming for me, so I went ahead with simple traffic instead, and I am really liking the simplicity. I even managed to make simple traffic work for VATSIM. The model matching is great, and it's good enough for me because I cannot distinguish the planes anyway. I just like seeing the liveries, seeing the dual engine, the 4 engines, the wide body, narrow body, and them having real life liveries. It's good enough for me. But yes, when I start craving for more, I think it will be a good time to check out AIG. Maybe by then it will be a bit simpler as well. Okay, runway 01 should not be active, so we should be able to go there. Let's go and arm the reversers. Let's go manual cross flow. Okay, new one here, that looks good. One thing I really like about this plane, in addition to all the other things I like about it, is the taxiing. The ground handling is so good. It feels like an airliner, not too heavy but not light either. Doesn't feel like a GA plane when you're taxiing like this. I'm using my feet to taxi like this. Feels so good on the ground. Really feel that weight of the plane you're carrying. You were using simple traffic before you switched to AG. Hey, Inertia, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. AIG, it took a long time, but it's much better. Nice. So when I get the time to explore that, I will. Thank you. Yes, doing good. Long time no see. I've been good as well. Glad you managed to drop in. Alright, let's see. While we're taxiing here, let me just refer to the checklist, make sure I didn't miss anything. So far so good. Yes, the only thing that's missing later on is strobes, landing lights later, and then push toga, the switch itself. Okay, and then I'm expecting that we'll actually be given a instructions to turn left towards our waypoint, because if you look at the plan here, that's the runway heading, the magenta line. That's the way we're taking off, but the flight plan is there, so we'll be asked to do a left turn later on, I'm sure. Okay, 1 second. Is this the one? Yes. So now we're back taxiing runway 15. Is turn our strobes. Alright, this is the runway we're taking off from. Just going to make a loop around. Start on track IR here. Is that an AI plane that went around because of us? My bad. What plane is that? It's like looked like a dual engine turboprop. Hey, Bunky.
The captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
Thinking of switching. It seemed like the DC-6 at first, but I only saw 2 engines. Let's go around here.
Jazz 8352, contact tower on 118.3. Have a nice flight.
Okay, maybe I should have contacted them first, huh? It's my bad.
Tower on 118.3 Jazz 8352.
I should have held short before runway 15. Okay, let's go and tune in to runway to 118.3. Yeah, that's my bad. This is why we practice like this. Okay. Before we enter the runway, we should get clearance first for takeoff.
Tower Jazz 8352 ready for departure runway 15.
Jazz
Sorry about that,
8352
Nursha.
winds are 162 at 7 knots cleared for takeoff. Runway 15 squawk 3220, maintain runway heading until above 3,200 feet, then
3,200.
turn left heading 038 to intersect course.
038. Okay.
Cleared for takeoff runway 15 squawk 3220, maintain runway heading until above 3,200 feet, then left to 038 Jazz 8352.
Okay. Climb to 3,200, turn left 038 on the heading. Okay. I see. Alright, stop here. Let's plug that in so that I don't forget. 038 on the heading. And we'll go to heading mode once we are on 3,200 feet. Okay, looks good. Alright. We have takeoff clearance, so let's turn on our landing lights. Let's go 50% here. Push, toga. Bit of forward pressure. Toga set, takeoff thrust is set. Keep my hand there. Wind's coming a bit from the right. Not a factor. 100 knots. Reaching V1 soon. V1, rotate. There we go. Positive rate. Gear up. Looking good. Move our speed bug up. Go back to climb detent. Go to speed mode. 3,200. Let's turn left. So many things happening at the same time. My bad. Okay, let's go flaps up. Check guys, bit busy. Ooh, look at that view. Very nice. There we go. Sand flying at the moment because this view looks so amazing.
8352, contact Vancouver Center on
Okay.
133.8. Have a good afternoon.
Switch to
Center on
autopilot.
133.8 Jazz 8352.
One 338. I'll get back to chat in a bit, guys. Just catching up here. Catching up. One second.
Yes, sir. Jazz 8352 climbing to 13,000 feet.
Jazz
13,000.
8352, good afternoon. Radar contact. Jazz 8352, climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
Oh, there we go.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet Jazz 8352.
So we were leveling off already because the initial clearance we got was only 6,000 feet. Man, that looks great. Okay, I think things are a bit more stable. Let's go and have a look outside. Whew. Close up. I like the haze. Blaze looks so good. Wonder where it's going now, our plane. I have a feeling it's going the wrong way. Okay, not too bad. Look at the clouds, guys. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Let's go and do our after takeoff checks. Turn off the reversers. Turn off the manual cross flow. Turn off the taxi lights. We're still below 10,000 feet, so we'll stay at 250 knots. Okay, I think I can get back to chat. There we go. Thanks, Jay. Alright. Crossing 10,000 feet. That means we can speed up to 290 knots. So just increasing the speed bug here. And now we can turn off our landing lights as well. And now it's looking a bit more stable. Let's go and turn off the seatbelt signs. Very good.
Jazz 8352 slow to 250 knots or less.
Why? No.
Welcome, Jazz 8352.
I think the pilot, the ATC, just didn't recognize the 10,000 feet adjustment. Let's also align our heading bug. There you go. Look at what's below here. Man, the clouds look beautiful, don't they? Goodness. This is a nice sight. Not bad at
Jazz
all.
8352 climb and maintain flight level 210.
Flight level
Climb and maintain
210.
flight level 210, Jazz 8352.
210. There we go. It's more like it. So now what we're looking for, we're now at 290 knots. 1 second, let me see. 290 knots, right? When this Mach speed hits 0.74, we'll switch to Mach speed instead of knots there. That's the 250, 290, 0.74 climb profile. Look at this view. This is why we fly. Yay. Rotating just like that was causing hard time to get positive climb. Then hold it there. Ah, yeah, I did feel that when I pulled the yoke and I let it go, it kind of fell again. Like it climbed up and it fell again. So I think that's a good tip. When you pull it, keep it there. Don't bring it back immediately. Especially with these longer pencils, I think that's more important. With the CRJ 700, I didn't feel that quite as much. But I think, yeah, with these longer planes, it's a bit more important. Yeah, let it go for a sec, so it kind of fell. Right. That's why it's important to have to press that takeoff button so that you get that that flight director telling you how much you should be pitching up for the takeoff. Very good tip. Thanks, Alfred. How about that for a view? How about that? $18,000 feet. Let's switch to standard altimeter. Once, twice, 3 times. Looking good. Keep it there and enjoy the view. Let's have a look where we are. Let's get little nav map in play here. Have a bit of sightseeing, get a bit more context on where we are. Okay.
Jazz 8352 climb and maintain flight level 290.
1 second, guys.
Climb and maintain maintain flight level 290 Jazz 8352.
So the mountains we're seeing in front of us, this huge mountain range here, is this way. Kakwa Provincial Park and Protected Area. So this entire thing we see right in front. Jasper National Park of Canada. Looks like. Goodness, let's have a look outside. Bit of better view. Man. Thankfully the weather was not bad. Just enough to have some clouds in here. Some scenic sights. Looking for a nice angle for a shot. That one can work. Good. Now let's have a look here. Zoom out a bit. Top of descent is right there. Currently, we'll be reaching flight level 290 with that range to arc there, that magenta arc near Wallop. So we should have plenty of time, but we will still be climbing after we reach that. Mach 0.68, still climbing, looking good. And currently it is negative 43 degrees Celsius outside. Just a tad cold. And look at this, we have actually 57, 58 knots on our back here. So if we look at the progress page here, we have actually 46 knots of tailwind. That 58 knots coming from our back translates to 46 knots of tailwind. So we are 46 knots faster, our ground speed. So our true airspeed is 410. Our ground speed is 458. For a change, the wind is actually working with us. That's nice. Good. Looking good. Let's go through the checklist here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Gear is up. That thing always opens. I'm not sure why. When I move my camera to another screen, my mouse. TCAS is set. Strobes, landing lights. Yes, all of those are on. AP mode, speed bug, flaps, throttles, yes. Reversers are off, fuel flow is auto, taxi lights off, seatbelts off, landing lights off, speed bug is 290 knots. We are in standard altimeter, and when we hit that Mach 0.74, we will switch to that Mach speed climb. Okay, looks good. Looking good right there. Oh my goodness, I didn't expect this nice view here. Pretty happy with this choice of flight now. So yes, I hope we can continue next week moving more eastbound and enjoying more of these sites. Also, I'm not sure if we have enough time, but if we have enough time later after we're done with this flight, we can actually go low and slow. We can actually take the Milvis PC6 around Edmonton, go for a bit of low and slow flying, and enjoy the view. So I hope we'll have more time later. If we arrive early enough and we still have time, we will do just that. It is live weather. Yeah, it is live weather. I'm not been given clearance yet.
Jazz 8352, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 Jazz 8352.
And now we're in Mach 0.74. Let's switch to Mach speeds. So now you can see that the climb is saying 0.75. Actually, that should be 0.74. There you go. Mach 0.74 instead of 290, because I've done the switch. And now it will follow the Mach speed instead of the indicated airspeed here. So you can see that is going lower and lower as we climb. It's getting colder and colder. How's it? The colder it is, the slower the sound of speed is. So our airspeed will be lower too, but we'll still be traveling at Mach 0.74. It's a bit tricky, all these relations of the speed. Indicated airspeed, true airspeed, ground speed, and then you have a Mach speed as well. Alright, that's looking great. Let's go outside again. Have a bit of sightseeing. We are right at the center of the mountains now. It's a bit bumpy as well. Look at that view.
Contact Vancouver Center on 134.0. Enjoy your afternoon.
134.0.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, center on 134.0, Jazz 8352.
134? 134, sorry. Alright, let's go and check in.
Jazz 8352 climbing to flight level 350.
Jazz 8352, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Good afternoon. Sound travels faster in solids compared to air. Yeah, I wonder how that translates. Oh, by the way, the HUD unfortunately does not work at the moment. The HUD has been negatively impacted by Sim Update 7. So this thing that you use when it's bad weather, you want something, you want the HUD in here, it doesn't work at the moment. You have to wait for Aerosoft to update that. Sim Update 7 changed how the HUD is rendered, but yeah, the developers have to adjust for it. Looks like it's a bit bumpy as well. You can see our climb here getting a bit hampered as we go. You can also feel the bumps. Explain an ortho for XP. I know, right? I know. There was a time I was downloading a lot of ortho photos for X-Plane as well. I had to do that for each flight, right? If you're flying on a different area, you have to do it manually, and then you have to go and mix and match and check that the satellite images are nice. The satellite image provider you chose was the right one for the place, so that it doesn't have clouds, the colors are good. Here, you don't have to do anything, just fly, and the sim takes care of all of that for you. It's such a... These are the kind of solutions that I want. That's why I'm also really into simple traffic. You know, the...
Jazz 8352, expedite climb to flight level 350.
Yeah, we're struggling a bit here because of the winds.
Expedite climb to flight level 350, Jazz 8352.
Yeah, if you have a lot of time, then that's great, but I don't, unfortunately. I'd rather spend my limited time flying than setting things up. So I'm really into the less hassle solutions. Okay, let's double check here. Reaching Wallop. Actually, we just crossed Wallop. Let's double check. 1,000 to go. Let's double check the flight log in here. Flight log at Wallop, we should have 6,700 pounds fuel on board. Currently we have 6,900, so we are actually in a better spot. The estimates are actually a bit more pessimistic. Yeah, so we're in a good place. Looking good. Altitude selected, capture. And we'll stay here at Mach 0.74 for the rest of the climb. But if we don't do anything, that means that this current power rating, right, current thrust settings that we have on the engine, because we were traveling at Mach 0.74 while climbing, now that we've leveled off and still applying the same power, that means we'll be flying faster, right? And that's correct. You can see our Mach speed here increasing now. We don't want that. So what we do now is we pull back the throttle, go out of the climb detent, and lower our N1 here. Around, I don't know, around 85% is a good starting point. And then depending on the weather, depending on different factors, you want to just fine-tune that depending to keep the speed you want. 85% N1 more or less. Go back a bit.
Jazz 8352, contact Edmonton Center on 134.5. Have a good one.
It's quick.
Center on 134.5, Jazz 8352.
Okay. Yes. That is one of my favorite shows. I was happy to hear about the new series. I didn't expect it would come back. Is it an episode per week kind of thing, or is the entire series out? How many episodes do they have planned for it? Yeah, I don't think I have access to it yet though. I think I will have to wait for it to arrive in Netflix, so that might be a few months or maybe a year. Yes, looking forward to watching it again. 3 episodes out already. Nice. Bit bumpy in here. One thing we could do as well, we could go and check the weather, right, at Edmonton. Edmonton, let's see. Oh, we're still too far away. We don't even see that here. Okay, let's wait.
Jazz 8352, you have traffic at 9 o'clock, 10 miles at flight
Really?
level 330.
You guys see it? Do we? Let's go ahead and zoom in here. No, there is nothing. Maybe there was. Not anymore. So let's go ahead and respond. Traffic not in sight.
Traffic not in sight, Jazz 8352.
Still speeding up here. Let's pull back a little. 10 episodes total. Nice. A lot less work to do in 2020. That's very true. Yeah. And that's a very important thing, right? We're all busy. We all have stuff to do. Alright, so while we're on cruise here, let's go ahead and plug in stuff already so we can prepare a bit. So let's put in the landing elevation at Edmonton. Let's have a look. Navigraph. Here's the Edmonton ILS runway 02 approach. We should have the airport elevation in here, 2373. Okay, 2373, so let's put that at 2380. Landing elevation 2380. Looks good. And how far away before our top of descent? There it is. It's actually coming in 80 miles. Pretty close. I wanted to double check our vertical profile though. We wanted to be at S key. We wanted to be at or below 1900, and at upkit we had to be 8000 exactly. That is getting followed in here. That's great. Okay, that's great. So what we can do is follow all of these so far. Nice. That looks pretty promising, the vertical profile it has planned for us. So 15,400 at S key, which is okay because we should be at or below 1900. It plans 8,000 for us at upkit, which is exactly where we should be. And then the only other restriction is Hampo at 5,000. Not exact there, but that's okay. Good. I'm happy with that. Sure thing, Jay. Alright, looking good here. Man, that is a nice view. Yeah, it would be great to be able to fly here a bit more up close and personal, right? So hopefully we get more time after this. Oh, and let's have a look at Volanta while we're waiting here. Volanta is actually capturing our flight. Oh, and let's take some screenshots. Look at this. I was taking some screenshots, right? And it was detecting that actually. So I can add screenshots here. Look at that. So can we add those? Let's see if those will get added. Oh, it even knows where we took those shots. Look at that. That's so cool. So one of them we took on the airport itself, one during takeoff, and one on climb. And that's our profile, right? Our path. And look at this, guys. It's not all. That's not all, because it actually is 3D. So we are 2,000 feet, that's why it's elevated a bit. And then as we climb, that goes even higher.
You have traffic at 9
Right.
o'clock, 10 miles at flight level 330.
Super cool. Where the heck is that guy? I don't see him. No, nothing here. Not sure where that guy is, but no, I'm not seeing the guy.
Traffic not in sight, Jazz 8352.
Okay, so yes, Volanta, pretty interesting stuff. I just forget to turn it on most of the time, so I have to remember that. So yes, it is in 3D, so you can even see your vertical profile up here. Very, very cool. And then yes, the screenshots, geotagged screenshots, very convenient. So feel free to add me here, the Clumsy Geek, and so we can see each other when we're all flying. Cool. Alright, so let me move that here. Let it track our flight. Let's go ahead and as we're nearing top of descent here, let's go and brief the approach.
Jazz 8352, expect the SK2 arrival with the SK transition
Perfect.
for the ILS approach to runway 02 at Edmonton International.
Nice, exactly. Okay.
Expect the SK2 arrival with the SK transition for the ILS approach to runway 02, Jazz 8352.
So this is exactly as we wanted, right? SK2. Now there is a risk that we go into holding pattern in here at SK. If, for example, there's too much traffic in this area, going to Edmonton, we can be put on a hold. I'm not sure if this plane is capable of that. I think it can. 1 second. Oh, hold at SK. So I think it can do that. Right, there, like there. It can hold at the present position. It can hold at a certain waypoint, like hold and then put SK in there, I think. And then paste that there, right? And then you can put in the different parameters, right? Outbound leg is 253. It's a left turn. So 253 here, left turn. Inbound course, just put the stuff in. Quite interesting how that works. And then it will do the hold for you, so you don't have to do things all manually. Very nice. Pilot to ATC unfortunately does not do holds though, so we will never be assigned that, so we'll just go straight in. But yes, SK at or below flight level 190, we saw that already. Upkit at 8,000 exactly. Max to 20 knots, so I have to slow down there. I have to slow to 250 knots anyway below 10,000, but I have to slow further to 210 at upkit. And then 210, 220 at upkit. 210 at big V, and then Rexom, and then expect vectors here. Right? So we're basically like on a right downwind to runway 02, because runway 02 is right here where my mouse is.
Jazz 8352, contact Edmonton Center on 132.05. Have a good afternoon.
13205.
Center on 132.05, Jazz 8352.
Good.
Jazz 8352 at flight level 350.
Hey Chris, how's it going?
8352,
Glad you could
good
join the stream.
afternoon. Radar contact.
Oh, look at that. It would have been nice if we were on VATSIM. Edmonton just came alive literally a few seconds ago. We could have had a controller at Edmonton. I should start getting back into VATSIM. That will be way more interesting, more involved. Now I did notice we are losing a bit of airspeed in here. We're below Mach 0.74. That can be quite dangerous if we go lower than that, because there is like a speed envelope here a bit lower and the plane will struggle to keep its altitude. So we have to be very wary to not go below Mach 0.74. Okay, anyway, going back here. So after we've done that approach, that arrival, We've reached Wrexham. We'll be given vectors towards runway 02, and eventually we will be vectored to Hampo, the intermediate fix here. So we have to have the ILS frequency tuned in by then, 110.3. 020 degrees is the final approach course. And then, let's see, we have the
Jazz
different...
8352 maintain flight level 350, descend to cross Eski at 4,000 feet, then descend via the Eski to arrival with the Eski transition to 5,000 feet, altimeter 299er at Edmonton International.
299er, let's take note of that here in the standby.
Maintain flight level 350 will cross Eski at 14,000 feet and descend via the Eski to arrival with the Eski transition to 5,000
This is very
feet,
interesting,
altimeter
guys.
299er Jazz 8352.
So they want us to cross Eski at 14,000 feet, like so. Execute. The top of descent actually came a bit earlier. So now we'll be crossing Eski at 14,000, upkit at 8,000. So cross Eski at 14,000 and descend via. That means follow the arrival. So we follow whatever we briefed, except that at Eski, instead of just being below flight level 190, we have to be exactly at 14,000 as instructed by ATC. But that's actually perfect. That's perfect vertical profile in there. Look at this. 2.5 degrees all throughout. So it's literal straight line below. Like that. Very nice computation by ATC. So they actually did us a favor there. Good. Okay, so let's continue briefing. So we'll be vectored to Hampo, the intermediate fix. We should be at 5,000 feet by then. 020 final approach course. Tuned in the 110.3 ILS. And then we should be capturing the glide slope there. And it's a 3-degree glide slope, so it's a standard descent rate, right? Descent angle. Minimums would be 2525 decision altitude. What's the difference? Full or the high intensity approach lights system? I'm not sure what the high else is for, but yes, it's these are lights on the runway. So when the lights are out, the minimums are a bit higher. When they're fully enabled, the minimums are a bit lower, which makes sense. Okay, we're almost at the top of descent. Let's go and check. Put direct intercept page here. There we go. Let's start descending. Descend to 5,000 feet. Go to VS mode, pull back on the throttle, and just follow the VS that's recommended by this one. It says 2,600. Okay, so let's go for 2,600 feet. Vertical speed. Let's go down to around maybe 60%. You can hear the engines quieting down. We have now started our descent. Love this plane. Definitely. It can get a bit buggy when you tinker with the flight plan too much. Change the arrival and waypoints and whatnot. It has its tendencies to bug out, but overall it's pretty stable. So yes, let's plug this in, 2525 for the minimums. Let's put this in. So MDA. And then press that. Might not be obvious, but I'm changing the MDA right there on the PFD. It's a bit small. We're at 800 feet now. 2525. So let's put that at 2530. 2530. 2450, 70, 2530. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Thank you. Hey, Game Theorist, welcome back, man. How's it going? 2,600 feet. Looking good. That's the airspeed I like. Perfect. Slow it down just a tad more. Is that Edmonton in front? Maybe. Maybe. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Mach 0.74. Let's go and keep that at Mach 0.74. There we go. Actually, we should be able to switch that to 290 knots now. So that's the speed that we'll be following downward. Looking good. Bit slow. Man, that looks so good. The details on the ground, even at this height, huh? They recently upgraded that. I think that's with Sim Update 6 or 5. They improved a lot the satellite imagery even from airliner levels. Looks so much better these days. Okay, looks good. Let's double check the meter at Edmonton. Can we see it now? Edmonton, what? Still not? Yeah, that might be tricky. Yikes, okay. Might still be too far away. Okay, let's see later. This is the CRJ 900, Chris. CRJ 900 by Aerosoft. Let me show you the outside. That's the one. Very long pencil plane. Beautiful. Okay. Bit too fast here. Slow it down. 2,400. We can slow the descent a bit. Looking good. We are on exactly in a 3-degree descent angle. 2,300, okay. Niner. We'll switch to that once we cross flight level 180. First time seeing it. It's very nice. It's
352 contact Edmonton Center on 134.3. Enjoy your afternoon.
343. It is the best airliner, the best modern airliner we have for Microsoft Flight Sim at the moment. That is my opinion on it. Okay.
Jazz 8352 descending to 5,000 feet.
Jazz 8352, good afternoon. Radar contact. Altimeter 29908.
29908.
Altimeter 29908, Jazz 8352.
Okay, can we see Edmonton now? Pretty please. Still not? There's so many airports, it's actually getting confused. Okay, let's check that later. Slow it down. Double check our vertical profile, and as you guys noticed, I am doing this manually. There is VNAV, and I can do that, but oftentimes most of the CRJs don't have a coupled VNAV. They have instead a VNAV advisory like this. Like they tell you at which vertical speed you should be going at to reach the altitudes you want, but you have to do it yourself. You have to VS your way there, basically. Oh my goodness, isn't that a view right there? Pilots would have such a hard time focusing here. 110.3, do we have that tuned in already? Let's double check. 110.3, not yet. That should be automatically adjusting later. Oh, and now we have to adjust our Altimeter 29908. Okay, 29908. There you go. Slow it down. Actually, we did have some restrictions in the arrival, right? So I should be actually taking note of those. 1 second, huh? To 20 knots at Apkit. Okay, let's slow it down now to 250. I think we can do that. I'm going to flight idle. Slow down the speed bug to 250 knots. Align the heading. And 1,700 feet per minute. 1,600. That will slow us down even more. That's perfect. Welcome back, Jay. CRJ 200. Man, I don't even know how that looks like. Is that just literally a shorter pencil? Looking good. How's our speed doing? Yeah, slowly but surely getting lower. Let's hope that this time Edmonton is around, because we are getting pretty low here. Would make sense that we have it somewhere. There it is. No, it's not. It's a different one. Maple Lane Farm. Dang it. Oh, there it is. There it is. 95 kilometers. There it is. Okay. 010 at 7 knots. So that makes sense. Runway 02. So we've been told to expect 20 static miles. I don't see that a lot. Normally I would just see 10. If it's above 10. Broken at 063. What I learned recently, guys, is this is apparently AGL. Above ground. And not MSL. So that is depending on the airport elevation. And airport elevation is 2,300, right? What did we put in? 2,380. So that's 6,300 plus 2,380. So we actually have broken clouds at 8,000 feet. Something like that. Very interesting. And the temperature is minus 13. Oh my goodness, just a bit chilly. And dew point is minus 18. Altimeter 29999. Remarks. Oh, yeah, I have those super cool liquid particles again. 208. We're past that now though. Should be okay there. Okay, 1 second.
Jazz 8352, contact Edmonton International Well approach on 120.5. Have a good afternoon.
120.5. I'll get back to chat in a bit. I heard something.
120.5 Jazz 8352.
Hey, recovery. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining. Glad you are here. How are you? Let's slow down to 220 knots because the next waypoint requires us to be at that speed. I'm still at flight idle, by the way.
Jazz 8352
Basta.
5,000 feet.
Ayos naman.
Jazz
Other
8352,
things.
good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue descent via the SQ2 arrival for the ILS approach to runway 02 at Edmonton International.
I've heard that.
Continue descent via the SQ2 arrival for the ILS approach to runway 02 Jazz 8352.
You can see there the discontinuity at Rexom. There should not be a line between Rexom and Hampo because that's where we'll be given vectors towards Hampo. Okay, 220 knots, 10,000 feet almost. Let's go ahead and turn our landing lights. Seatbelt signs on as well. Let me go through the checklist, make sure I didn't miss anything. Descent, yes. Top of descent, yes. Landing lights, yes. Performance, set the V speeds, seat belts. ILS frequency, yes, let's do that again. And let me arm the reversers as early as now, because I always forget that one. Okay, so 1 second. Let's set the V speeds here, except for the VREF. So set this one. Let's go ahead and also set. Okay, 220. That's okay. We can increase our speed a bit. That looks okay. Good. Man, look at the clouds here. We do have risk of icing here though, because currently it is -14 outside. Should we turn on anti-ice? Well, we have not gotten any indication about it yet, so I think we can keep it for now. Just finished work, drinking cider, eating peanuts. Sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. Enjoy. Good. 20 knots, looks good. Let me see. Yes, let's go ahead and arm the reversers before I forget that later. Double check the frequency, 110.3. Is that what we have for the approach? Indeed, 110.3. Indeed. Okay, good. And I have to be slowing my descent here because we have to be at 8,000 feet at upkit. And I'm almost there, so I have to shallow out that descent a lot. 600 feet is what this one is telling me. 600 feet to arrive at upkit, exactly at 8,000 feet. So far that's looking good though. And then the next restriction will be 210 knots. You can see the ILS has just come alive. You can see it there in blue. So it is indeed tuned properly. Even the course is properly set, I think. I hope. There we go. Slow it down to 210 knots. Looking good. 8,000 feet at upkit. Perfect. Right on the money right there. Awesome. That's amazing. Okay, I like it. Now I think we can descend 1,000 feet per minute until we reach 5,000 feet. And then stay there the entire time. Good. Right. Couldn't see out of your windshield. Oh, look at that, there's a plane right there. Yeah, that's Edmonton right there. Nice. I see myself in Navigraph now. That's us entering the chart. We will be routed to the right though, so we'll be going outside again, I think. We will be circling back in like that. We'll see. Zoom in here a bit more. Okay, 210 knots. Looking good. Looking good. We have our landing lights. Let's go and reference the approach checklist. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we are good. Alright, making a right turn here. This is where we should be expecting vectors soon.
Jazz 8352, turn right heading 129 on vectors to the ILS approach. Perfect. For runway 02 at Edmonton International.
Heading 129er vectors to the ILS approach for runway 02 Jazz 8352.
129er, interesting. Okay. Let's go ahead and slow ourselves down to 170 knots.
Jazz 8352, turn left heading 129er.
Heading 129er Jazz 8352.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get our flaps out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please remain seated until we have stopped.
Let's go ahead and switch this as well to nav mode. There we go. So that we have the ILS 020. Perfect. 110.3. That is the ILS frequency. Okay, we are ready from that point of view. Nice. So we are getting vectored now. We are getting vectored to Hampo. So I'm expecting we should be given a left turn pretty soon. We're closing to 5,000 feet as well. Looks pretty good. In our VREF, given our current weights, 141 knots. We'll set that later
Jazz
when we are on our final
8352,
approach.
turn left heading 114.
114.
Heading 114 Jazz 8352.
one more. There we go, 5,000 feet. Let's go and push the throttle so that we are sure that we maintain that 170 knot speed. This is so good.
Jazz
The airport,
8352
there it
cleared
is.
for ILS approach to runway 02, fly heading 0462 to intercept final.
046, not the best time for
Cleared
icing, but
ILS approach to
it is what
runway
it is.
02, fly heading 046 Jazz 8352.
We blew past the ILS a bit, so I'm adjusting, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So yeah, there's the green line. We went a bit to the right of it, so I'll adjust. Why are we falling? We should be at 5,000 feet. Good. Bit slow. Okay, let us go to nav mode. Arm the approach. Good. Okay, we're back at 5,000 feet. Back at 170 knots. Looking good. We're not doing it wrong. Hot chocolate and eating a flapjack. Doing it exactly
Jazz
right.
8352, altimeter 299er at Edmonton International Contact Tower on 118.3. Have a good one.
Altimeter 299er tower on 118.3 Jazz 8352.
1183. We'll report that we are inbound. We are too fast. Let's report approach inbound.
Jazz 8352 inbound for ILS approach to runway 02.
We are 1 dot away.
Jazz 8352, good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue number 2 for ILS to runway
Number
02,
two.
call when established on final.
Interesting.
Jazz 8352, slow to 190 knots or less.
Okay.
Wilco Jazz 8352.
Let's lower our landing gear. Press the wrong
Jazz
button.
8352, you have traffic at 12 o'clock, 10 miles at 3,300 feet.
Is it that guy? Maybe? Okay, there we go. We are established.
Jazz 8352 established on final for ILS runway 02.
Let's set that VREF.
Jazz 8352, you are number 2 for landing. Winds are 355 at 7 knots, clear to land runway 02.
Number 2 for landing.
Clear to land runway 02, Jazz 8352.
Someone is actually on the same arrival as we are. You know, remember the right downwind leg? That's super cool. And yes, there is indeed someone in front of us. I don't see them, but I see them here on DCAS. That's the guy number 1 for landing. Very cool. Right. Going full flaps. I guess we're okay now to remove
Jazz
anti-ice.
8352, you have traffic at 11 o'clock, 5 miles at 3,300 feet.
Yeah, we see the guy. We see the guy. No worries. Let's keep our speed up here. On VREF. Let's make sure we align the heading bug as well. Actually, I just remembered I forgot to brief the missed approach procedure. If ever we need to go straight 020 and then onwards to Tidog, which is straight ahead. Okay, hopefully we won't need it, but CRJ should have it with us right there. That's the plane. Very nice. Okay. Are we struggling here? Okay, looking good. Do it on our own.
1,000.
Oh, we have ice again. Goodness, it's that cold. Let's keep the anti-ice on, guys. Alright. We don't have pappy lights. In the runway, we should be turning to the right here. The end. We are pretty high actually. So just that. Looking good. Right, looking good. Wind's coming a bit from the left. Is it from the left? Yes, just a tad.
400.
Okay, that looks good.
Jazz 8352 traffic on runway. Execute the published missed approach for ILS to runway 02 contact approach on 120.5 to request another approach.
Really?
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain
Going
has
around.
reported the landing. Please keep your seatbelt fastened
That's
and we will be
super
landing
cool.
shortly.
Too low.
Okay.
Terrain.
Positive rate.
Too low. Terrain.
You're up. Wow. Wow. Second guys, huh? Okay, FMS 1. Let's go and go straight to... This is why I should have briefed the missed approach procedure. Dang it.
Executing missed approach for ILS to runway 02 approach on 120.5 Jazz 8352.
5,000 feet. And then pull it back. Go to altitude. And then heading mode. And then go autopilot. Okay. Take it off my hands for now. Real-time traffic. I am on AI traffic, I believe. Yeah, AI traffic. I think they're stuck on the runway or something. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to approach 1205. How do we report here? Checking in, maybe?
Jazz 8352 at 5,000 feet.
Not go around, we should actually be going straight to
8352, good
Uber.
afternoon. Radar contact. Turn left heading 206 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 02 at Edmonton International. Maintain 4,900 feet. Jazz 8352, you have traffic at 1 o'clock 10 miles at 2,800 feet. Jazz 8352, you have traffic at 1 o'clock 9 miles at 2,800 feet.
Okay.
Heading 206 vectors to the ILS approach for runway 02 maintain 4,900 feet Jazz 8352.
So many instructions. Oh, that's Edmonton right there. Well, we got our up close and personal look. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to nav mode here. Localizer 1. 4,900. Let's VS our way down. We're almost there, but not quite. We're also beyond 250 knots, which is not something we want. Okay, let's try that again. Let's hope that the guy has now cleared the runway by now. Man, look at the clouds though, right? Look at these clouds. Beautiful. making things a bit more interesting. Yeah, this is offline AI traffic, not the real-time one. VRF remains the same. Okay, that's good. Where's the airport?
Jazz 8352, turn left heading 186.
86.
Heading 186 Jazz 8352.
Not even sure where the airport is at the moment. Also looks like the clouds are lowering. Oh, there it is. Okay, looks great. Well, hope they get us to land soon because the cloud cover is getting lower and lower. Where are we going here? Looking good there. Let's get some flaps in here, just so we're not so awkward with this lower speeds. Okay, we're getting close. Should be... That's the runway. Okay, we're on left downwind. Yes. That's the runway. You guys see any plane right now? I see one there. I don't see anyone on the runway itself, so that's the other runway. But we are actually landing on this one right here. There is a plane there taxiing. I don't see anyone on the runway itself. Okay, that's a good sign, I think. My goodness, it has gotten dark immediately. Let's get some lights in here. Some floodlights maybe. Just to add to the ambiance. Floodlights. There you go. Also, I am way too slow. My bad. I have to monitor that better. Our angle of attack is so high now because I'm so slow. My bad, my bad. Get some speed in there. Okay, there we go.
Jazz 8352, turn right heading 206.
Heading 206 Jazz 8352.
Let me go back to 170 knots on the speed bug so I get guided there. Stay there. Okay, now we're being given enough space. Let's have a look outside while we have time. There's the runway that we're targeting. Let's see what we'll be given to this time. Localizer is alive there. 020 on the course. Perfect. Glide slope, we're above it. That's okay. Now we're going a bit too fast. That's fine. That's fine. The autopilot is not in the best shape though. Seems like it's missing the altitude quite a bit. Or is that because of my mostly erroneous power settings? Oops, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Go beyond there. There we go. Stay at 5,000 feet. That's more like it. Not the best visibility, but my goodness, that is super scenic, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't think we'll get a chance to fly the PC-6 anymore. But at least we've had an exciting flight. We'll see if we'll need to go around again. Lighting is great here in this sim. Very, very true. Let's have a look at the METAR if it's accurate. Edmonton, okay. Say broken at 063. That looks a bit lower, doesn't it? Because the clouds are almost at our level, which is 5,000 feet, let's say. Which is only around 2,800, 2,700 feet. Let's say 3,000 feet above ground. So it should say broken 030, something like that, instead of 063.
Jazz 8352, turn left heading 108.
I think that's the bug that they found. That the METAR is actually in MSL instead of AGL. 108. Looks good. Right. Second time's the charm. Why are we losing altitude?
Jazz 8352 cleared for ILS to runway 02, fly heading 047 to intercept final.
047. We shot past it again. They gave us instructions too
Cleared
late.
for ILS approach to runway 02, fly heading 047, Jazz 8352.
That's okay, we can adjust. Let's arm the approach.
Jazz 8352, altimeter 3001 at Edmonton International
Wow,
Contact
that's
Tower
changing a
on
lot.
118.3. Enjoy your afternoon.
Altimeter 3001, tower on 118.3, Jazz 8352.
83. Ooh, so many things to do at the same time. This is why you have two pilots. 1183. Okay, let's go ahead and report that we are inbound again. Second time's the charm, please.
Jazz 8352 inbound for ILS approach to runway 02.
Okay, I see
Jazz
one dot above.
8352, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Let's
Continue
lower our
ILS to
landing
runway
gear.
02, call when established on final.
Gears are lowering. Okay, there we are. Aligning on the runway 020. And now we've captured the glide slope perfect, so we are established.
Jazz 8352 established on final for ILS runway 02. Jazz 8352, winds are 355 at 7 knots, clear to land runway 02.
Too fast.
Clear to land runway 02, Jazz 8352.
Go to flight idle here for now. Go to our reference speeds. There we go. Get one more notch of flaps in. For full flaps for landing. There we go. Just oversped a bit, that's okay. Please let there be no aircraft anymore on the ground. Okay. Looks good. We have lights, we have reversers, we have everything. We're in the VREF range. Okay, let's go and fly this on our own. Get a feel for the plane. Get some power in. We're a bit low. We're a bit slow. Look at the icing, guys. Accumulating icing in here. Although we have de-ice enabled, some parts are not part of that anti-ice. But the important ones are, so we should be okay. But yes, pretty cold here. Winter has certainly come in Edmonton. A bit low, a bit slow.
1,000.
Get some power in. Looking good so far, but not the best approach, but we can make do. Shallow out the... There we go. Now we're on the profile. Just looking outside, looking at my PFD. Making sure that airspeed remains on the VREF. Ideally should be a bit above it. Glide slope remains in the middle. So we are on the right vertical path. Now we're getting a bit too high. So I am pulling back on the throttle just a bit. I'm telling you what I'm doing because it's not very visible if I just look in front like this, but I have to keep looking in front like this. Okay, okay.
500.
Please let me land. I don't see any aircraft in front. Looks good.
400.
That's more like it.
300.
Looking good so far. Winds coming mostly right in front of us.
200.
Bit high. Is that a plane buzzing? You can see right there. My goodness.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Bit of right rudder.
10.
Reverse.
Jazz 8352, exit runway when able.
Reversers are on. Looking good. We have a taxiway right here. Thank you. A high-speed taxi area right here on the right. Let's go exit that way. Looking good. Couldn't even see any markings on the runway anymore because of the snow, huh? Goodness. Let's go move the flaps up. Bye, have a great time. Turn off our landing lights, turn off our strobes here. Looking good. We can stow the reversers and stop here.
Clear of active Jazz 8352. Jazz 8352, contact ground on
Please remain seated
121.7.
until
Good
the
day.
aircraft has come to a complete
Nice.
stop.
Now for
Ground
taxi,
on 121.7, Jazz 8352.
I won't be coordinating with ATC anymore. My goodness, look at that view. Best time ever. Okay, I'm okay with that. So just taxi on our way here. Track IR is working-ish. Yes, not the best, but we can make it work somehow. Yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of the workaround. Alright, we can turn off our anti-ice. Turn off our probe heat. If I can look at it, maybe it's better this angle. Turn off the probe heats. Okay, it's a bit of a long taxi. I think that's the gate. There's ice on the wipers, I know, right? Yeah. Butter, yeah, it was buttery, but it was a bit floaty. But I'll take it, I'll take it. We had enough, more than enough runway length anyway. Thank you. Good, but yes, the feel of this plane, the hand flying experience that this plane gives, very, very good. So they've really done a lot in tweaking that feeling. Really feels like an airliner. Start the APU here. Ice again. Goodness, on the ground. Wow. Okay, let's leave the anti-ice on then. Icing on the ground. First time I've had that. Negative 15 outside, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you. Uh-huh. Let's make sure I don't miss the taxiway. There should be one here on the left coming soon. So cold in Edmonton. I didn't know. If you turn on the wiper, yeah, unfortunately not. The wiper right now is decoration. Yeah, it's it doesn't really wipe anything. That's why I don't turn it on. there's a limitation in the graphics engine at the moment that it cannot wipe away any of the rain or anything and the snow on its own. It doesn't really wipe that away, so it's just moving but not really wiping anything. So I almost never turn it on. Okay, there's a gate right there. I think we can stop somewhere here. APU is also fully active, so that means we should be able to turn off the engines later when we park without much difficulty, without losing complete power on the engine, on the plane rather. Good. Yeah, hope they add that in soon. It does add to the realism when you have it. Looks good, guys. Let's go and park here. Very nice. Thank you for joining me in this flight. We arrived in one piece. Quite interesting go around there. Turn off the lights there. Seatbelt signs can go off. And the engine can now be shut down. And now we should be getting all the warnings. Windshield heat. Looking good there. Okay. Nav lights, turn that off. Beacons, let's double check. Are they still spinning? That should be good enough. Beacons can go off. And now we can open the doors.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make your way to the exit and please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
Thanks, Bunky. I should have briefed that earlier. I should have prepared for it. Thankfully, this approach, the missed approach for this airport was pretty simple, just going straight. But if it was like going around or anything, look at that view. Oh my goodness, that is the perfect for this end of the flight. There's even an aircraft right there in the distance. Can you see him? Goodness. Let's take a photo of that. Beautiful. So let's have a look at the chart here. 1 second. Oh, and one thing I wanted to test as well. Let's go in here. When we shut down the plane, the thing, let's go the wheel chocks. So we can release the parking brake. We can turn off the APU, the hydraulics and everything, I think. Turn off the APU. Plane mostly shuts down. And we can turn off the battery master here without pausing the sim. Well, it kind of still paused, but yeah, at least the continue screen, the menu, it's not there anymore, right? I think they basically just have like a... Did someone just land there? Oh, that's pretty cool. They just like added an auto press continue, so the menu doesn't appear anymore. But at least it's a good thing, right? It's still there. Oh my goodness, the camera is not the best without track IR. Okay, there you go. So let's have a look at Volanta. So quiet, I know, right? Yes. Have a good night. Have a good morning. So friend, thanks man. Appreciate it. Cabin temperature somewhere. There is cabin temperature that you can adjust. I'm not sure if it's modeled in. That's a good question. Maybe we can tweak with that. Do we have some time? We do have some time here. Let's go ahead and get the GPU in here, as well as the ground air cart, so that we have air conditioning. Okay. GPU, that is powered on. The air conditioning. Let's see. Oh, it turned it off now. Alright, let's turn that on. So we should see the... Let's see. There should be a cabin in here. I'm not sure which page it is, to be honest. Doors. Oh, that's only the doors. That's the primary ECS. That's the one. Okay. So you see a cabin selected, actual like that. Right? Selected is 23, actual is 23, so it's able to cool correctly. If we turn off the... And look at that, we're getting icing on the windshield because we don't have anti-ice. So if we turn off the air conditioning, how does that look? So first, the green light disappears, right? And now I'm expecting it should get colder. Yes, it is. Look at that, 20 now, 22. So that should get closer to the outside air temperature, which is -15. So let's leave it there, right? Without air conditioning, let's leave it there for now. And see how that will look after a while. That's pretty cool though. I haven't tested that before. Okay. But yes, while that's working, let's have a look at Volanta. Let's have a look at the approach first, what we should have done. Here is the approach. Right, when we were asked to go around, we remain at 020 heading, which is good. But you can see here, we should have intercepted the 032 radial of the Edmonton VOR here. And when we did intercept that, we should have gone 032 heading, right, towards Tidug. So go straight 020 and then turn right onto 032 radial of the Edmonton VOR at 5,000 feet. So climb to 5,000 feet and then hold at Tidug until given further instructions. So we kind of did that, but not exactly. We just got lucky that the missed approach procedure was very close to just going straight. Because some procedures make you go left, go turn around, go here. Yeah, so not too bad. Never uses wipers. Open store in -15. Hey Gotti, thanks for the raid. Sorry I didn't see that earlier. Welcome, viewers. Thanks for joining us. We just finished our flight. Very cold here in Edmonton, -15. We had to go around once because there was an aircraft on the runway and ATC told us to go around. But we made it in the end, and with how cold it is, we're actually getting icing on the windshield, even on the ground. Cool stuff. And yeah, look at this. Pretty cold now. 17, 16. So it's slowly but surely dropping. I like that realism. Good thing you guys told me to check that out because that is super cool. I didn't know that. Sorry for the pun. But yeah, I didn't know that that was modeled properly in here. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. This one, much better. Let's go and take a screenshot then. And last but not the least, let's have a look at Volanta. How we did on our flight. Review your flight. There we go. We took 3 screenshots there. Right? And that's our vertical profile. So we climbed, we stayed there. And then we started descending when the colors changed to green. Right, there we go. And this is our... So we were given vectors around this point, right? And then we aligned with the runway. We were asked to go around, and that's what we did. Right? And then we were given a second chance. Right? And then that's where we are. So not too shabby. I'll take it. And then eventually we parked. We landed. We went off the runway. We parked over here. Beautiful. But Volanta highlights it very, very well. Statistics. Do we get our landing rate here? Landing rate -120. I'll take it. Not bad at all. Yeah, a bit floaty, but not bad. And G-force is just 1. So that's perfect for me. I think that's okay. Nothing too jerky. Good. 83 passengers. I didn't even know how that is checked. Interesting. Maybe that depends on the load you have. But yeah, looks like I'll be using Volanta moving forward. This is pretty nice on the stats. So yes, looking forward to more flights with this one. And hopefully next time we have VATSIM. Wait a minute. Why is there no one online? There we go. VATSIM. So but VATSIM, look at this. We actually have someone from Canada. Yeah, and Edmonton approach is actually online. So we'll see. Maybe next week we get the chance to do it. Once approved. Greenland, not sure if 76 knots. Goodness, good luck, Inertia. Good luck. Let us know how it goes in Discord. Keeping my fingers crossed for you. Okay, so yes, thank you for all the support. Thanks for joining me on this flight. Glad we managed to land in one piece. Have a good one, guys. Someone came on VATSIM too. Maybe. Oh my goodness, that would be so fun if you had VATSIM. I would be blinking like crazy though, right? I blink whenever I get nervous. So let's see how that works next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in 2 days for some trucking. I was hoping to stream tomorrow for some farming, but I think farm sim is not very stable yet, and I have work anyway, so maybe next week, we'll see. Right, have a great night. Catch you guys 2 days from now. In the meantime, see you on Discord and on YouTube. Thanks. Have a nice day. Clumsy flying, and have a good one. Bye-bye. Thanks.